do you like the view?
The roses are a big improvement from that ceiling I've been staring at for the last 5 months.
Not bad.
But they don't compare to the ones I got in my garden at home.
One step at a time.
I don't like to be kept waiting.
Look, I'm pushing through your release as fast as I can, Anthony, which is no small feat considering you're a confessed killer. I'd be very happy that you're here instead of in a prison cell.
I was a sick man when I did those things. I'm well now. I want to be with my family.
Well, your family has much different plans.
Be specific. That's what a lawyer's for.
Claudia and John are determined to do whatever it takes to keep you locked away for the rest of your life. Oh. Glad you can make it.
I was curious. What could we possibly have to talk about, huh?
Business proposition?
You're gonna have to find another mole for Sonny's organization. I already told you the man fired me.
No, Logan. This has nothing to do with my brother.
Okay, well then what are we doing in his warehouse?
Somebody tried to kill Sonny right here in this very spot. Bullet ricocheted and hit my nephew. Now Sonny's looking for payback.
What does that have to do with me?
Well, you spent a couple of years dodging bullets and car bombs over there in Iraq. That military experience, as well as your medical training, makes you the perfect candidate to protect a client of mine in case, say, mob war breaks out.
Why would I want to work for you, huh?
Well, other than knowing the events that led up to your dishonorable discharge. Remember, a black spot like that on your record, it severely limits your employment possibilities.
So you're doing me a favor, then?
I'm offering you access to a real power player. In exchange, I expect you to be loyal to me.
It's time for your medication, Mr. Zacchara.
You know, my friends call me Tony. And this seems like a friendly place, so you should call me Tony, too.
Do you have any children, Tony?
Yes, I do. I have 2 children, a boy and a girl. My son, John, he looks just like his mother. Same eyes, same smile. He was the light of Maria's life. Isn't that right, Johnny? This is the guy I was talking about.
I'll let the two of you talk. I'll be back to check on you later, Tony.
All right.
Have a nice visit.
I was wondering when you were going to stop by. I missed you.
You can drop the act. She's gone.
I'm a changed man, Johnny. I'll prove it to you.
Yeah, you're sane. It just means you're more dangerous.
See, that's Claudia talking. She was always a bad influence on you.
You want to go work for some whack job that skewered you up against a wall, that's your business, okay? I'm not going to play nursemaid for some drooling nutcase.
Anthony Zacchara is a paranoid schizophrenic. He's perfectly sane. And there's a good chance that all the charges against him are going to be dropped, at which time he is going to resume his position as head of the Zacchara family.
What? I'm sorry, isn't the man paralyzed from the neck down? I mean, he can barely blink. How is he supposed to run an entire organization?
Well, Anthony regained the use of his arms some time ago. Now, once he's on his feet, he is going to be one of the most powerful men in this country.
Mm-hmm. Have you to thank for it, right? Oh. So how does that bring me in?
Well, everything that I've done for Anthony up to this point has been completely within the boundaries of the law. Now, he's going to go outside of those boundaries, I'm sure, and when he does, I'm going to have to get real creative in order to maintain deniability. See, that is where you come in. I need you inside to feed me information, to be at the center of the power base. As Anthony's bodyguard, you're going to be able to get me what I need, and you're going to be able to make his son look bad. Look, once Anthony gets in there, Johnny's going to lose his power base. He's no longer going to be able to use his little mob prince trappings, and he's going to be much less enticing to somebody, say, like, I don't know, Lulu Spencer. Do you want to take the job, or should I talk to somebody else about this?
Mr. Lansing, I think you got a deal.
Why would Rick Lansing help me if I was still the same man who stabbed him the night of the ball?
Rick's got his own agenda working. Getting you out of prison was just a power play against his father.
Rick understands that I was suffering from a terrible illness, and I'm not responsible for the things I did.
Rick hasn't seen half of what you're capable of. I have.
Johnny, I've been ill for a long time. I did unspeakable things out of anger to you and your mother. But the doctors have found a way to control it. Things will be different from now on.
You're right. It'll be worse.
Don't push me.
Or what?
You're my son and I love you, Johnny, and I would never do anything to harm you. But I'm not going to put up with your defiance either. Welcome me back with open arms, or I'll do what I should have done years ago.
What's that?
I'll kill Claudia.
Hi, Daddy. It's wonderful to see you looking so well.
You've been taking good care of my father.
Been losing sleep over my condition, have you, Claudia?
I have been very worried about you, Daddy.
I can imagine, but there's no need. My new lawyer arranged for this young man to be my full-time attendant, and Logan's got military credentials, combat experience to go along with his medical training, so he could protect me against anyone who might want to do me harm.
Well, you can't be too careful, Daddy. That's why Johnny and I were very specific with Rick. We told him when you were transferred here, you'd need a guard, like Logan, to look after you.
She's lying to you, Mr. Zacchara. Rick Lansing's the one who got you out of prison.
Careful, bodyguard. Why don't you speak when you're spoken to? Johnny and I hired Rick to look after you. Rick Lansing charged us a small fortune, but he's gotten results. You're out of that prison hospital, and you have a hearing on Wednesday.
I wouldn't believe a word of this, Mr. Zacchara. She's trying to work you.
I'm not going to tell you again. We were reluctant to use Trevor's son. Trevor's been giving us a really hard time, Daddy. That's why we were pushing so hard to get you out of that prison.
What is this, some sort of bizarre family ritual? First your brother decides to violate the restraining order, and now you?
Why are you suddenly trying to keep us away from our father?
Well, for a list of reasons, Mr. Carr, but the best is for his own protection.
He obviously doesn't want you to know that John and I hired him to get you released.
Were you up all night thinking of that? Don't you really think your father's going to believe that?
Somebody's lying. Give me one reason to believe you over my daughter.
It's Claudia that's lying. Rick hired me because he knew that you wouldn't be able to trust your own kids.
Rick told you that. You never actually heard me or my brother John threaten our father. That is an outrageous lie. You need to fire him, Daddy.
Go make that physical therapy appointment for me. I'm sure I'll be safe while you're gone. Only one of these two can't be trusted.
Excuse me.
Now, Claudia, Anthony knows that I came to him of my own volition. He also knows that I am the one who formulated the legal strategy to get him free.
John and I paid you to do that, and now you're trying to cut us out of our own father's
No
life?
offense, Anthony. I know she's your daughter, but don't believe a word out of it.
You're working for your brother Sonny.
You gotta be really desperate to link me with Sonny. My brother's hatred of me is legendary.
Oh, you seem pretty chummy at the Haunted Star
Oh,
opening.
I'm sorry. Should I have pulled out a gun?
It all makes sense now. You sold Trevor the Alcazar pier so you could keep him out of our hands.
Trevor blackmailed me and got those piers away from me, sweetheart. So
He
you wanna
is
get
trying to
information.
convince you that we have shared enemies and you need to be afraid of your own
You know,
children.
if you had been around a little bit more, Mr. Carr, you'd realize that Anthony...
You want to hand our heads to Sonny on a silver platter. And then you're going to go after Trevor. You know what's ironic here? He is trying to use you to get back at his own father.
Finally.
Ma'am, you're in violation of a court order. I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
I'm going to fix this, Daddy. I'm going to find a way to fix this. But you need to listen to me. In the meantime, be careful. Your own lawyer here, he's trying to trick you. And he's trying to make us all work against each other. You need to not let that happen. Okay, I can find my own way out. Way more than you can handle, trust me.
Yeah,
I need to meet you.
I'm busy.
The road out of Shady Brook Hospital, there's an overlook. Meet me there. I have information about who shot Michael.
Anthony, If she was really worried about you and wanted you released, then why is she showing up just now, huh? And if she hired me, why wouldn't she trust me? It's a desperate ploy.
I'll deal with Claudia. Actually, she made some good points. Maybe I have trusted you too much.
Well,
That's funny.
here we are. Again. And this time, I promise, no prior engagements to interrupt us.
Oh, good. May I ask you a personal question?
Hoping you might.
Why on earth would you choose to live this way? I mean, and don't tell me it's some sort of Gandhi rejection of the material world.
No, nothing nearly so noble.
Okay. I mean, I understand cave dwelling and all, but I'm pretty certain you can afford a better cave than this.
Well, the women that I'm used to entertaining here aren't usually here for the ambiance. You're shocked.
No. You're hoping. I am, so you can avoid the real answer.
Staff at larger hotels can be so overeager, downright intrusive.
Really? You don't seem like a man who would be afraid of having his life of debauchery exposed.
On the contrary, I'm actually quite proud of it.
Really? So then what are you afraid they will intrude on?
You know what?
What?
This is starting to sound less like foreplay and more like an interrogation.
If it weren't for me, you'd still be rotting in that prison hospital right now. Don't forget, your hearing hasn't come through yet. You're a long way from being a free man. Look, if you think that Claudia wants to see you released because she wants to share some sort of long walks on the beach or some Sunday dinners with you...
You've worked legal magic here, Richard, and I'm fully intending to show proper appreciation. Now, at the same time, I am reminded that you're not doing this out of the goodness of your heart. You're after power. My power.
Power, yes, absolutely. But not yours, okay? There's plenty to go around. And I want to use it against my father. That much your daughter did get right.
Be careful that our interests don't conflict. Don't make the mistake of trying to separate Johnny from me or turn me against him.
Okay, what about Claudia?
Oh, Claudia is all mine.
I'm by the Overlook.
I got hung up at Shady Brook, talking to the doctors about my father. I'm almost there.
I think I see you. You got the same car you had in the alleyway?
This is how it works.
Could you be more specific?
Yes, of course. Getting to know each other. I tell you mine, you tell me yours, and if it only goes one way, you might as well be talking to a priest. I know absolutely nothing about you. I don't know where you're from. I don't know if you have any family. Have you ever been married? I mean, that's normally a good start.
My past is none of your concern. Your past, however, is quite interesting to me. For instance, I understand that you and Jason Morgan used to be a couple.
Yeah. Of course, it's one of my many relationship train wrecks.
You know, it suddenly occurs to me that maybe you could be here trying to get some information.
Really? Well, first of all, things did not end well between me and Jason. He can barely stand to be in the same room with me.
Well, wouldn't this be a great way of mending some
And
fences?
second,
Maybe
you
trying
are
to
a doctor.
Bring him some pillow talk.
Are you serious? What kind of information?
I'm not like the fools that you're used to dealing with, okay? Who are so eager to get a piece of the poor wounded Sam that they'll do and say anything. You better go now.
You are so wrong about this.
And when you do see Mr. Morgan, please tell him that you did your best to take one for the team. And the next time that he tries to pull something like this, it won't be nearly so pleasant.